My dear students, in this video program I am going to discuss to you people the last application of Gauss's law about which you have to learn in CBSE syllabus, and this last application, it is the calculation of electric field intensity due to an uniformly charged spherical cell। प्यारे बच्चों, आज के इस वीडियो कार्यक्रम में हम तुम लोगों को यूनिफॉर्मली चार्ज सेल के चलते किसी पॉइंट पर इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी की एक्सप्रेशन को निकालने के लिए सिखाएंगे। तो जैसा कि पीछे वाले क्लास में हमने तुम लोगों को बताया था कि एक सॉलिड स्फेरिकल चार्ज बॉडी हो और उसके चलते इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड कैसे कैलकुलेट किया जाता है, और उसके बारे में हमने काफ़ी डिटेल्स में उसका एक्सप्रेशन भी निकाला था, समझाया भी था। बट नाउ द सब्जेक्ट मैटर ऑफ दिस वीडियो प्रोग्राम इज टू फाइंड द वैल्यू ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी ड्यू टू यूनिफॉर्मली चार्ज स्फेरिकल सेल। नाउ देयर आर थ्री पॉसिबल केसेज। The first case, when the observatory point lies outside the uniformly charged cell। आज सबसे पहले हम केस फर्स्ट को डील करेंगे, जिसमें जो सेल है जो यूनिफॉर्मली चार्ज है और उस सेल के चलते सेल के बाहर कोई ऑब्जर्वेटरी पॉइंट पी है और वहां पर इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इंटेंसिटी की वैल्यू क्या होगी, वी वांट टू डिस्कस टुडे। सो फर्स्टली यू कैन सी दिस फिगर हियर। आई हैव assumed it is representing a thin spherical cell। Let the center of this thin spherical charge cell is O, and let its radius is capital R. The charge is uniformly distributed over this entire surface. Let Q coulomb of charge, it is given on this spherical cell, and the radius of this cell, let it is capital R. From figure it is clear that this distance is R, means that the radius of this cell is R. Now consider an observatory point P, and this observatory point P lies at a distance a small r from the center. You can see from the figure it is clear that the distance joining the center O to the observatory point P, this distance is OP and it is equal to R. Since it is a spherically symmetric charge body exactly proceeding in the similar way, again we will draw a Gaussian hypothetical spherical surface. So we take the point O as the center and this distance OP as the radius, that is the value of radius will be equal to R, and we will draw a Gaussian hypothetical spherical surface. From the figure it is clear that this broken line, this Gaussian hypothetical spherical surface is represented by this broken part. Now this Gaussian spherical surface is concentric with the cell, that is both have got the same center, but this cell has got the radius small r. Now to find the value of electric field intensity at the point E, we consider an elementary area of this Gaussian surface. You can see this region, the shaded part, it is representing the elementary area of this Gaussian surface. Let the magnitude of this elementary area is ds, and also consider that the electric field intensity which exists at the point P, let it is capital E. Now it is clear that this electric field intensity, it will act along the radially outward direction since the charge is positive, and if this charge was negative, then this field will act along the radially inward direction. But here the situation, it is the positively charged, so this field E will act at the point P along the radially outward direction. Now it is clear from the figure that both vector E as well as ds are acting along the same direction. It means that the angle between vector E and ds, it will come 0 degree. So let us now try to calculate the electric flux associated with this elementary area. Exactly proceeding in the similar way, we can write d phi, that must be equal to d phi must be equal to vector E dot ds, and since the angle between E and ds is 0 degree, so we'll write E into ds cos 0 degree. Cos 0 is 1, so it will come E into ds. Now total electric flux associated with this entire Gaussian surface can be given as phi equals to closed integral vector E dot ds, means E into ds. Here we write as this resembles the surface integral. So E into ds, that will come E into closed integral ds, and it will come equal to E into, see here, integral ds means that the surface area of this Gaussian hypothetical spherical surface, since it has got the radius equal to r, and you know very well for such a geometrical shaped body the total surface area is given as 4 pi times the square of the radius. Certainly it will be E into 4 pi into r square, and let us take this is equation number 1. Now I am going to apply the Gauss law. The Gauss law tells that the total flux associated through a closed surface is given as phi equals to q times divided by epsilon naught, where q is what? Q is the charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface. So we write phi equals to q by epsilon 0, and let us take this is equation number 2. Now from equations 1 and 2 we can write E into, from equations 1 and 2 we have what? We have E into 4 pi into r square, that must be equal to q by epsilon naught, and from here we can write E equals to q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into r square. In vector form you can write this relation as vector E equals to q by 4 pi epsilon naught r square into unit vector r. Now if we think about this relation, we come to the general conclusion that this electric field intensity, the formula for electric field intensity comes exactly in the same way as it comes like that of a point charge. Imagine a point charge plus q is located at the point O. So the electric field intensity at a distance small r, that is at the point P, the formula for this, it will also be q by 4 pi epsilon naught times r square, that is q by 4 pi epsilon naught into r square. So if we observe this relation, we can say that this spherical cell is behaving like the wholesome charge which has been given to this spherical cell. It is concentrated at the center O. Now we want to discuss case 2. The case 2, when the observatory point lies inside the cell. You can go through this figure. This figure, it is representing the spherical charge thin cell, and exactly our supposition is similar. It has got the center O and the radius, it is equal to capital R. Now consider a point P. You can see in this figure, this is a point, and this point P is lying within this spherical cell. So if this point P is lying within this spherical cell, we are interested to find the value of electric field intensity at this point P, which lies inside this spherical cell. Now the situation is that the distance OP, that is the distance joining the point O to the point P, which is the observatory point, it is equal to a small r. OP is a small r. Again we will draw a Gaussian spherical surface. So taking the center O and OP as the radius, we will draw a Gaussian hypothetical spherical surface. This is representing the Gaussian hypothetical spherical surface. Now exactly proceeding in the similar fashion, we will consider an elementary area. This is representing the elementary area of this Gaussian spherical surface. Now this elementary region has got the area equal to ds, and let the electric field intensity which exists at the point P, it is E. Again, since it has got a spherical symmetry, so both vector E as well as ds will act along the same direction, that is the angle between E and ds will be equal to 0. So if you want to calculate the total electric flux associated with this Gaussian spherical surface, we can write phi equals to closed integral vector E dot ds, that is, here we write S, that is surface integral, and this will come closed integral E into ds, because ds cos theta, theta is 0 degree, so cos 01, that will come E into ds. Now see here, E into ds, we can also write E into closed integral over S, and this is ds, and this will come E into area of this Gaussian surface. Since it has got the radius equal to r, so the surface area of this Gaussian surface, it will come 4 pi r square. So we'll write E into 4 pi r square. Consider this is equation number 2. Now we are going to apply the Gauss law. From Gauss law, the electric flux associated with this region, this Gaussian surface, will be equal to, will be phi equals to charge divided by epsilon 0, but the charge enclosed by the Gaussian surface is 0, so we will write 0 divided by epsilon 0, and it will come equal to 0. So let us take this is equation number 2. So from equation 1 and 2, we can write from equations 1 and 2, we have E into 4 pi r square, it is equal to 0. What does it mean? It means that electric field intensity is equal to 0. My dear students, try to understand, this is a thin spherical cell, So any point lying inside this spherical cell, if you will calculate the value of electric field intensity, it will certainly come equal to 0. So electric field intensity inside the spherical cell, it will be always 0. Now we want to discuss the case number 3. The case 3, when the observatory point lies on the surface. I want to say that the sphere, you can see this is a spherical charged cell. The charge is given on this. The charge is already it is given. The charge is Q and the center is O and its radius is equal to, see here, the center is O and the radius is how much? The radius is capital R. In this case, you can see the observatory point is lying on the surface. My dear students, this observatory point P can lie at any point lying on its outer surface. So if such a situation prevails, already for the external point, the field about which I have discussed to you, it was the formula equals to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught into R square. Now it is clear that when the point P will lie on the surface of this sphere, certainly this value R will be equal to a small r. So let us substitute this R by capital R. So we get substituting R equals to capital R. We have what we get? We get the relation E is equal to Q by 4 pi epsilon naught into R square. So this is the required formula for the electric field intensity at any point lying on the surface of this thin spherical cell. Okay, thanks my dear students. At the end of this video lecture, I am going to suggest to you people that you must share this video among your students, among your friends, colleagues, so that maximum number of students can be benefited, and you must not try to forget to subscribe this video channel. Okay, thanks.